All right, welcome to part 2 of this asset browser that we're making. All right, so this is what we're going to have at the end of this video. Hopefully the time is enough, or we can split it into parts, but this is the next thing that we're going to do. So basically it's now loading these images from the site, and it's putting them on a list already. You can see this if I make this smaller. This is already a list, right? So we can scroll this, and the size of the images are just temporary, but we're gonna fix them when we have all the design and stuff done. So for now, that is what we're gonna have. Okay, so now let's go. All right, so this is where I'm gonna end up. Let me go back to what we had before, because I'm just using my development file there to figure out things. And this is where we left off. We just had one image there and it was all good, which is this. All right, so I'm gonna do a few things here. One of the things that I did here is go to the settings in PyCharm, and I added an extra folder here. Let's go to here, show all, and I added this folder, which is the wherever Houdini 19 is installed. Go to Python bin. Oh no, sorry, that's not, sorry. Select this, go here. This is the folder. Sorry. Wherever Houdini 19 is, Python lib, Python 3.7, side packages force. We need that folder there. So if you want to see where that is, it's here. Again, whatever Houdini is installed, doesn't matter if it's Windows or Linux, or just go to whatever is Houdini installed. Go to Python lib 3.7 side packages force, and enable that one, because PySide is inside of here, right? So when you have that, it's gonna recognize PySide and it's gonna have it here in the packages somewhere. I don't know, it should be in the packages there. So we're gonna do that, and the other thing I'm gonna do is actually change this. I know I wanted to stay with the Houdini or side effects conventions, but if I do this Qt core dot, you can see I have no completion at all there. But if I change this thing to, let me just remove that and make it PySide 2, you can see now if I say Qt core, now I get completion. You can see it's recognizing. So that's, I want this. So again, I wanted to stick with the conventions that side effects is using, but I think it's better for me if I just use this convention here, because it just gives me the completion, and that's what I want, right? So sorry, I didn't delete those words there. I still need to delete 2 more words. There we go. So that's what I want. I don't think I need this Qt line. Let me just remove that. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Qt Pixman expector argument. Let's see if this is still working. It's still working. Okay. Unexpected argument. No, it does need that argument. Why are you telling that it's not? Okay. All right. So let's start doing the what we're gonna do. So last video we did this request, right? The request, we did it this way. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. We did the request in this way, using the import request library, but that thing is slow. I think it's just, yeah, I think it's slow. So what we're gonna do today is use actually Qt network, which comes with PyQt, I mean PySide in this case, right? So we're gonna use that instead of this. For that, I'm gonna create actually a helper class for this that we're gonna be using for downloading images. And this is a class I saw someone on the internet use, and I think this is about the best way to do this. Image downloader, and it's gonna be Qt core. So this is the helper class that is gonna be Q object setting some label to what we need, and this is gonna take a widget here. We're gonna send a parent and a request here. All right, so we're gonna send that, and then this is gonna say super. It's gonna call the super of that, and then parent here because we're passing that. We want the parent to be passed along here. We want create a reference, a local reference of that request here. Then do we need to create this? Oh yeah, we need a pixmap. Pixmap to hold the pixmap, just like we did here. This guy. This is what we created here. So we already saw that before. So just basically an image, pixel image. I guess it could be called qpixmap, like that. Alright, so that's the initialization. It's gonna have a few classes here. So the Q network requires a few things. So it requires a queue to a network access manager, basically, to send the images. And what we're gonna do is basically send all the images, and it's gonna be downloading each image every time. And this is not gonna block our application. So this application, actually, you can see it's blocked while it's loading. See the button, if I click it, it stays blue until the image appears. So that is something that we don't want to have. We don't want to block the interface. So that's why we're creating this network downloader. So this doesn't block the UI. Imagine if we're gonna download, let's say, 400 images. Like let's see where the let's see what I have the Polyhaven site. So if we go to the HDR, you can see all of them are 498. So if we downloaded 498 and the widget or the panel is stuck, Houdini is stuck by what that is doing, it's happening, is not a good idea. All right. So we want to have something that is going to be asynchronously downloading the images. I know there's other ways, I know, but I want to use the PySide libraries as much as I can. Which when we're done with this class, it's real simple. Really, it's not that much. Okay, it's not much happening. So for this, you're gonna need a few helper functions here. You're gonna say one that's gonna start fetching the image. This is gonna take cell phone scores, and that's gonna take a network manager, which is gonna be the manager that I mentioned before. We're gonna create that in a little bit. This is gonna make sense when we use it later. Let me just finish this class and let's create a self fetch. Self fetch is gonna be network manager dot get. This is gonna call the get with that request, which is gonna be basic. This is gonna be basically the URL, the request that we're gonna pass here. We're gonna pass the request and the widget that we're gonna set this image on. this fetch is gonna be, no, sorry, fetch, wait, this is wrong. Just gonna call this task that finish when this gets the image, when it finishes downloading the image, we're gonna call a function. So this is basically let me see, what this is gonna call the download. Basically gonna start the download. When this downloads the image, it's gonna put it here, and then this is gonna connect to another function which is gonna be called result fetch, right? So now let's create that function, def result fetch, like that, and this is gonna be also just self, and then it's gonna see that the reply of this sends a reply. The manager sends a reply, or the request here, the get gets a reply, and that reply is gonna be equal to self dot fetch task dot read all. So we're gonna read everything that reply had there, and then we're gonna call another function that is gonna set the actual widget with an image, widget image, and we're gonna pass the reply, which is basically the information of the image here. So now let's create that function, set widget reply, and this is gonna take the image. This is basically the binary data of the image here, and then we're gonna set the pix map that we created before up here. With that, we're gonna create the load from data. We're gonna load the pix map from that binary data, passing that there, and then we're gonna set the we're gonna set the parent, which is gonna be the widget that we're gonna pass here. We're gonna set its pix map property, pix map to the pix map that we created there. So that's basically what's gonna happen there. It's all we need there. What is this guy saying? Parent format on fill. We don't need those parent, those things. All right, so now let's use this. We could move this class into its own file, but for now I'm just gonna have it here just for simplicity. So let's go to the asset browser class, and here at the top we need to create the self download. Let's create a download queue. Let's call it. It's a little bit long, but it's fine. And this is gonna be a queue network dot queue network. I don't have queue network imported, so we want to import change that word to qt network. Good network there. Then are we getting any completion here? Yeah, cool. Qt network access manager, that's the one we need. Doesn't need any parameters there. It says that it needs a parent, but it's fine. You need to be you're gonna be set like that, my friend. All right, so that is gonna be that. We have a label here that we're setting, but we are going to do I'm gonna set a few things. We're gonna remove, let me just don't print this data anymore because we're printing a lot of data over here. And for now, we don't need any of this. We're gonna leave that, but we're not gonna use it. I'm gonna paste just some URLs here for that I got from the data just for testing right now. But this is gonna be come from the JSON response later. For now, let's just do this URL just to get some data to work with. I'm not gonna use this image label there like that. I was saying that we're gonna create a list view which is gonna hold the let's call this icon view. This is gonna be a Qt list widget, and if you know something about Qt or PySide widgets, the widgets are not that fast. They are a little bit slow to render, but we're not having thousands of images. We're having hundreds, but we'll see. Let's see how it goes. If it's really slow, we can change it later to a model view concept and use a QList view instead of a QList widget. For now, let's just get it working and see how it works with a QList widget. And if it gets a little bit weird, we just modify it later. For now, let's don't optimize things yet. And QList widget is a little bit simpler to work with. With a QList view, we need to create a lot more setup. So for now, let's just go that. And then QList view has two modes. It has a list view and an icon view. You can set it, change that to icon view with this QList widget dot icon mode. This can be icon mode, or you can see what the other. If we here see we have let's see, mode. We have, where is it? List. Yeah, okay, it's list mode or view mode or icon mode. So list mode or icon mode. So we can change it to icons, and you're gonna see what that is in a second. All right. Also, I'm going to create. Let's just delete this list there. We don't need it. And then we're gonna create a thumb size just for now. We're gonna have a thumbnail size of, let's say, 200 for now. Which is gonna get the image from the site. We're gonna use that for now as a, I guess, static number, but we're gonna change that later. So now let's go down here, and we don't want to use any of this. So let's just comment it or delete it. It's fine. We'll just leave it there for reference later. But now we're going to say for every URL in the URLs list that we have there, here for these URLs, we're basically going to loop on those. And then if we print the URL, just to see that everything is working here. Let me do that the other way. Close that over there. We have a bunch of URLs here, and this is not working because this widget doesn't exist anymore. So actually we can add here, instead of that, let's add that list, this icon view list that we created. And then if we do that, you can see the list is there. There's nothing in the list. We can let's try adding the URLs just to add item. Let's see. Can I just add the URL directly there? No, it's not gonna. Really? No, there we go. So here's the list now, right? So it's a list at the moment. It's actually in icon mode. Let's see it in list view. So it looks exactly the same because the names are pretty long, but you can see this goes all the way over there. But in icon mode, it's gonna try to make icons of this. Let's make this a little bit bigger. You can see it's trying to add icons, but it's too there's no images basically. So for now it looks wrong. Right, let's add some stuff on it, or we can just maybe use the default image that we've been using to this to see what's going to happen. For example, if we create an item here, we need to create a qt widget dot qlist widget item. We need to create an item there like that. Let's make this say loading like that, and then we can set an icon to that item dot set icon. And we can pass an image here. Did I deleted the other? I have it here. Let me just copy this path just so you get an idea what's going to happen here. Paste. It's going to be adding the same icon. Doesn't have call with wrong arguments is set. Wish line 63 item. Set icon. Did I do something wrong? Set icon loading. This widget, I think this doesn't take any. Oh wait, does not take a text here. It should. I think the set icon is what it's wrong. Okay, set icon. I need to wrap this into a Qt icon. Qt GUI Q icon. Q icon. Wrap it like that. That should be good. It's still showing this list because we need to add the item now. Let's add the item that we're creating. So we could what happened there? Add item. There we go. So this is now, you can see this is when it's going to happen, right? We have icons here. We have icons and we have a list there. Not sure exactly why this is sorting like that. That's weird. It's kind of weird, but it's cool. So this is what we're gonna say, and this is loading one for each one of those things, but it's just adding one with the same icon. But in this case, we're gonna grab the image and add it to each one of those icons, right? So instead of that, so again, if I change this to list view, which is the default, you can see we just see it like this with the icon on the side like that, right? It's list, but we want sort of an icon kind of browser here, which we're gonna mimic the website later, which has all these icons in a grid, right? So okay, so now here, instead of printing the URLs, we don't want to print the URLs. I'm gonna do something more interesting here. All right, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a label, an image label, just to load the image, because the way the way this is working it's not letting me pass it to the icon directly for the queue list item. So I'm making this a workaround from now. If I find a better way, I'll change it. But for now, I think it works pretty good actually. So this is gonna be a queue widgets queue label, and this is all because we're loading this stuff from the internet, which is different than just loading stuff locally. And then we're gonna create the request that I mentioned about before. So this is gonna be the queue network request, and this is gonna be the one that is gonna send the URL. So from Qt core, we need the queue URL, and then we're gonna pass the URL like that, and I'm gonna append to the end the height that we saw before. We will send in if we send the height request to the site, it gives us a smaller image. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use the thumb size there, thumb size that we created over here, which is gonna be 200. So this is all right. This seems fine. Okay. Alright, so that's gonna be the request there. Why is this saying that there's unexpected argument? That's weird. Stop it. Queue network request is fine. And now we're gonna create a downloader. I'm gonna call it down, and it's gonna call that class that we created over here. And again, this takes a widget and the request that we have here. So we're gonna pass to this. We're gonna pass the image label that we created. And remember, we did that before to show the image. We create an image label and then the request there, and then we're creating the downloader instance, and now we're gonna run it. Because that does nothing, but this starts the fetching, and the start fetch needs, you can see here, the start fetch needs the network manager, which is this guy that we created. So let's pass that guy here. Self dot download queue. That's what we called it. So we pass the download queue here, and that's gonna get the image from this URL and apply it to this label, basically. So that's all happening in this step. So now when we have that, we're gonna create an item, which we already have one here. We already have an item here. We're gonna set the some things on the item. Item that set size hint. We're gonna say it's basically the size of this item, and let's set it to Qt core .q size. The queue size, let's use the thumb size as well. This is a size function for a size property type from Qt that needs the size hint needs that, and then we don't need to set that there. And here we add the item, but the item is gonna be it's gonna have nothing actually here. Has no attribute finish. Let's see, line 21. We have an issue here. Finish. This is finished, not finished. There we go. So this is doing nothing. It's actually adding these items. It's actually adding these items. You can see if I put something here again, okay, it's adding the items, but the icon is it's empty right now. So let's add the icon, and basically instead of adding the icon, we're gonna add a widget as the icon, which is this label that already holds the image. And the way we do that is just doing icon view that set item widget here. And then we set, let's pass the widget that we're gonna set it for, and then the image label. Then if we do this, we are loading and we have something going on. Has no attribute set image. So there's an something going on with this set image widget, set widget image, set widget. Oh, great. We didn't name it correctly here. Widget image. Guys, why didn't you guys tell me? I know you saw that. And there we go. You can see that works, and you can see that was loading the images as it was just as each image was loaded, it was showing, and we didn't have to do like anything. I mean, it was not how do I say this? It wasn't blocked. You can see I can click this again, it's loading, and Houdini is not blocked. You can see I can even click on some of this as it's loading, right? Which is great. And you can also see that this loads really quick. So that got stuck there for a little second there, but generally just loads pretty quickly. When this resize is not, I don't know why it's staying on this side, but we'll figure that later. But man, the images are loading perfectly. Look at that. That's amazing. Great. I mean, yeah, I think this is looking super good. Wow. We have a loading text there while that the images are loading. And let's try. Let me try to set the size hint here -2. I mean -2, just to see if we can get like an outline. We can change all the size hint. Maybe it's because the image is just that size. Let's see. Get it to, I mean, it's gonna, if I make it smaller, it's gonna be same thing, right? Because they are smaller. 200 is pretty good number. So get the size, thumb size -20. Let's see. -20. This is not working. I don't know exactly why this is not. It's maybe it doesn't like me to do an operation on that. Let's say 180. 180. No, still doing the same. Okay. Actually, I want to make it larger because it's wrapping the yeah, it's wrapping the image. It's okay, there we go. I just wanted to make it larger to see which one I'm selecting. But we're gonna make the highlight. We can do the highlighting stuff later. We can drag these guys around, which is not. It's something that maybe week 1 or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, that is totally working. Thumbnail size times 10. Just wanted to see a little hint of what we're selecting there. And it's also missing the text at the bottom of each one. But it's fine. We can add that later as well, which is pretty cool. Right on. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. It's weird that it's being reordered sometimes, but like that, which is weird. That's pretty weird. We're gonna disable the dragging anyway. You know what? Let's try getting some thumbnails from the website. Actually, let's see. Let's move this part, this Polyhaven part here. Let's move it up here before this. oops, for these URLs here. So this is where we are requesting the URLs. Let's see the Polyhaven website. Let's see where that is out here. So outdoor has a ton of assets. Let's see, let's get one that doesn't have a ton of assets. Let's see. Let's try, I don't know, I'm a little bit scared. Maybe I don't want to crash recording this. Let's try the indoor one. So indoor has indoor has a few hundred, right? 137. Let's try that one. Let's see. Let me copy that. So I'm looking at the return data here, which I should actually have here. So this is what returns. Let's try to get that here. Let me say URL. What the hell is happening now? This is failing a lot today. Weird. URL is gonna be equal to this. So we get in the outdoor, and let's see how many keys we have here in this. Let's just duplicate this line and say how many keys do we have here. We should have 137 as it says on the website. Just making sure. Let's see. Let's click that, and yeah, we have 137, and this is all the names of those. So we have the names in that data. There is no, let's say in that data, we don't have the actual URL here. For example, this is abandoned factory. This is one. Not sure exactly where it ends. I think here somewhere. So it's the URL is not here. So we need to make the URL from here. We should maybe just have to make a URL like this and add the key here, basically. So let's just do that. So instead of doing it for each URL, we're gonna do it for each one of these keys. Let me comment this section for now, and let's do that here for key in. We don't have this as keys. Let's just make this keys. It's gonna be data.keys. Just put in all those things in keys, and then let's say well, we can say in data.keys as well, to not have like an extra variable there. And then here we're gonna print the key. Okay, let's don't print this. And if we do that, we print all the keys there. So it's all the images that we're gonna get from there. So we need to make a URL from this. Let's make a URL. It's gonna be equal to this, something like this. Copy, paste that there. So it's gonna be that plus the key, and then plus dot png. So we're gonna basically insert this part for each one of these, and let's print that URL to make sure this is working. I need a plus here. Guys, tell me this, please. Doing crazy stuff here. Let's print the URL, and this is not working. There we go. So this should be working URLs, and let's just get one and make sure this actually works. Let's get one of this, copy it, and put it in here. So there we go. It works. Great. Also, we need to add the thumbnail size at the end. Let's just copy it from here, because we don't want mega big images. We want plus that. Actually, I don't want to do that. PNG height at thumbnail size, like that. That should be good, right? Is it good? Let's see. Again, let's copy one of these guys and check it out, just to make sure we're doing the right thing. There we go. We're getting the image. So now we should be able to just replace what we have here. Let's uncomment this again, but comment this. And instead of URL here, we're gonna actually, instead of this line, I'm just gonna duplicate this line to leave it there as a reference. Instead of that, we're gonna just pass that URL we already built. And I deleted one too many there. And this should be working now. Let's see. There's no place like tomorrow. There we go. Look at that. And it's loading. You can see it's loading images there, and it's not blocking Houdini. It's just loading as it's getting the image, it loads the image. There we go. Look at that. Wow. That was great, actually. Oh man, that was super cool. Again, I still don't know why this is just loading in one single side here. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's because doesn't know, but it should look something like this. We should fix that. Should fix that later. But look at this. This is already getting us all those images from the website, and we should be able to just when we click sections later, should be able just to select one of the other sections like skies, and it's gonna load skies, which is gonna just change what we are doing here in this key here. The skies. Is that how it's skies? So if we do that, you can see it's gonna load skies now. It's loading skies. Yes, it's loading skies. Awesome. So good. Look at that. Cool. Awesome. Well, it works. It really works. Awesome. I really like this. I think it's not super fast. I wish it was faster. But maybe we can improve it later. Yeah. For now, I think it's pretty good. We have skies, we could select one and load it and all that stuff. So it's super nice. We have a really good base for what we're doing at the moment. I think this is just looking amazing. I don't want to print the URL here anymore. We load this again. Yeah, look at that. It's loading the images. It's not blocking Houdini, which is amazing. It's loading the images as it finds them from the request, and just great stuff. Awesome. All right, that's it. I did a little bit extra. I didn't even want to load this directly from the website, but I did. So there you go. Should I be if I crash after this, excuse me, but let's see if I just load all the HDRIs, maybe just to see if we can do that. So there we go. It's loading all 400 and something, but you can see it's great because Houdini is not blocked. You can still use Houdini while that is loading, which is amazing. Man, this is so good. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to do like maybe some caching or something once we load them once, just save them on a database or something, and then just keep them there, and then we just load them from the local drive once that we have it on disk. But man, this is amazing. It loaded all of them. Never what am I going to say? Never hold on Houdini. Houdini stay responsive and everything, which is great. Awesome. All right. I will see you in the next part. Let's keep learning together.